Cheers, 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 and happy Saturday. Welcome, everybody, into the David Divine broadcasted and third broadcast of the year here on a Saturday night. And how are you guys doing? Hope you're doing good. Let's have some fun. All right. Fan Life Biker, what's going on? Delmas, what's going on? Delmas, good to see you. Delmas, my longtime friend, what's going on? Mike Jones, what's going on? Mike Jones says, it's so nice and warm out. Yes, it is. Isn't it warm out? I think we have hit 4. We've hit 4 here. Blood stick, boys. Van Life says, what do you know about how can I lower high blood? I don't know. There's a lot of abbreviations in there, Van Life. I'm gonna have to unpack that one. So what's going on? Mike Jones, yeah, warm. Yeah, I mean, we got nailed by snow. Good to see you, Mike Jones. Blood stick, boys. Yeah, we got nailed by snow. I was watching some other places that the guy walking around up in Buffalo for the football game that got canceled last weekend. And then he's been streaming with 1,000 people watch a red blood cell count with 1,000 people watching him snow blow his driveway with what seems like 100 feet of snow. So yeah, we've been getting hit with snow. A lot of schools closing. My bad. RBC count, thick blood, not good. Definitely need Brother Van. Oh, Mike Jones is figuring out Van Life's blood count or whatever's going on. Anyway, good to see you guys. Hope you have coffee, whatever else you're drinking. Let's have some fun tonight. Again, yeah, obviously, the cold and snow has been a big issue, and hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, lake effect snow is no joke. Yeah, we had a ton Friday. Everything was closed, and then of course, it all kind of melted today, so it was cool. How's the family, brother? It's good to be here. Good to see you, Delmas. You'll have to come up sometime. I'll drop the link maybe someone wants to come up a little bit later, or make some plans on coming up. Family's good. I'm glad you're here, Delmas. Good to see you. How are things down where you're at? Yeah, lake effect snow is no joke. Yeah. And then here we have secondary snow belts, tertiary snow belts. So I don't know if Van Life, Mike Jones, I'm not sure about your snow situation, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, it's no joke here. Yeah, everything was canceled yesterday. Pretty much everything was canceled. It's funny to listen to the radio stations that I listen to, where the old people talk and the young people, but the reason I bring up the old people is because they're always complaining that people get school off, that kids don't go to school because it's too cold or because there's too much snow. Because apparently these folks went to school every day when they were young. So they're all up in arms when you get a snow day. But of course, we all had them. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 We don't want you pushing up daisies either, boys. What's going on, boys? Hit the like button, by the way. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Um, yeah, Huntsville. Delma says Huntsville was straight ice and the state was shut down here, out of work for a week. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine you guys probably aren't Alabama. You guys probably aren't as prepared as we are here, so to speak. Um, but yeah, I can imagine everything gets shut down. Salty, what's going on? What's going on, Salty? Good to see you. Salty's got no snow down there in Florida. So we can't hear from Salty. We can't hear Salty at this weather report of 80 degrees. Or 70. No, David, it's only 74 here. Governor, the straight blizzard, the nor'easter that hit a few years ago is a straight blizzard. Yeah, I don't know if you're talking about the lake effect, the stuff that we had, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. It was crazy. And then last year, I don't know how bad it was last year. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It hasn't been bad. We've had 2 snows so far. They're both crazy. And then they all went away. Yeah, yeah. Salty's snow report is 0, 0 and counting. Yeah, we don't want to hear from. Yeah, we do want to hear from Salty. I'm just kidding. Good for you, Salty. We have nice summers. Don't forget it. We have nice summers here, and don't forget it. Van Life heard that. Yeah, Van Life had 15 inches pretty much melted. Yeah, ours melted today too, pretty much. I mean, there was, whatever, 100 feet on top of the car today when I went out there. But yeah, it's pretty much hopefully gone. Although I'm sure everybody likes having a day off of school and work. So that's it. Yeah. So we were in here hibernating. 15 inches you had, Van Life, in Nevada. Yeah. So we were down here hibernating, watching movies, and that's why I have the film. I was taking pictures of my film reel. And going to talk about some couple movies that I watched recently that were restored. You guys into movies and restored movies, and some of the things they can do with the 4K movies? I haven't been able to watch those, but the high def 1080, where they've restored some of these things, is just incredible. Everyone enjoys a day off, except the mortgage power bill. Yeah. Right, Mike? Yeah, right? He's just bragging at that point, right, Sully? He's just bragging. All right, just checking the mic there. Test 1, 2. Nope, not at all. We're weak skin. Oh, Delmas is weak skin down there in Huntsville. Yeah, I hear that. You get the 1 or 2 snows or ice. You just got ice, and then you guys are in, huh? Yeah. Mike says the new picture restoration. Yeah, so the one we watched 2 days ago was one of them that I wanted to talk about. It just was incredible. With the 4K restorations and going through the process. I watched some of the documentary about it. The painstaking frame by frame process that they go. replacing frame, and so the one that we watched a couple of nights ago or a couple mornings ago was Jaws, right? Jaws, you guys like that movie? Jaws? I have a couple important questions tonight, and one of them is, do you like Jaws? That's one of the important questions I have to ask you guys tonight. Do you like Jaws? And number two, I'll get to number two later. But if you do like Jaws, and you've ever seen it before in the theater or on, DVD, it is nothing compared to the restoration they've done with um, Jaws on the new release. I don't know when it came out. I think maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, um, and it comes in a set, cheap enough, with the Blu-ray and then a 4K if you can watch that. 4K obviously got to have the 4K player, 4K HDMI cord, and 4K TV. So you got to have those three things. The 4K stuff the player has a different laser, right? So the laser can read the 4K stuff, also DVD and Blu-ray. However, if you put a 4K in a PS4 or it doesn't have the appropriate laser, so you need that laser. So I'm not set up for 4K quite yet, but anyway, the Blu-ray restoration on Jaws was amazing. Again, when you seen it on DVD, it was scratchy, grainy. Yeah, yeah. So see that we got to hear that famous line last night or yesterday morning. The amount of times I've told someone you're going to need a bigger boat. That's right. Yeah, Jaws is classic. But the cool thing about the restoration was also it was like watching a new movie. And I mean it really was cool, and so it really set the bar high for these restorations. I'm into restorations. The ones that I've watched previous to this have all been like silent films and stuff like this. Is the first movie of this type that I've watched one of these restorations, but it's just incredible because you hear and the other key thing to the whole thing is the sound, right? The sound is just incredible. You can hear the background noise, you can hear what they're saying, all the intentions of probably the initial recording, right? So they can go in and tweak all that out. And it's just incredible. It's like watching a different movie. I really I found myself watching Jaws for the first time again. Like it was incredible. So if you get a chance, check out uh, that restoration while you're drinking some coffee. But it was really incredible. Mm. So, so Salty said, fun fact here: the remastered version is amazing. Fun fact: it was recorded with film, and that's how they can reproduce 4K. Yeah, I know. I watched a slight bit about the documentary that they have on there, and uh, so yeah, they took the negatives, right, and then you're saying recorded it with film. I don't know, whatever they did. I mean, and I've seen some of the Ray Harryhausen stuff where they've just added color, right? Um, Sully says, I love old movies. They're remastered in 4K from film. Yeah, it's mind blowing. It's like watching the movie all again, a brand new movie. There are things that I know when I've seen Jaws in the past on DVD or maybe even I don't know Blu-ray before it was remastered or restored, not just remastered. I didn't find myself as intrigued as this. This was amazing. Because that, like I said, I've seen a lot of the Ray Harryhausen stuff where he just went back and adjusted the color to the perfect colors and depths. But this is a whole different thing. This is adjusting all the colors and depths, but also replacing scratched film. Um, taking out all the the film, scratches and pops, which are cool. But I mean, the way they did it, it's just flawless. It's really flawless and impressive. Um, it's amazing. I got to imagine that when they filmed the movie, it, the way it is now with the restoration, it's got to be close to what they wanted, right? What they wanted it to look like, um, and what they wanted it to sound like. There were a lot of things in there that just weren't. You just weren't. They weren't audible, you know. And when it's on the big screen in the '70s, you were just amazed. But obviously, with technology catching up and surpassing it, that's debatable and argumentative, whatever, argumentative, whether it's better or not. But with, you know, the technology catching up, you got to imagine that this is what they wanted it to look like. Just didn't have the capabilities back then. And there's some that have overdone it. Star Wars, I'm not, again, I'm not, because every time they restore or fix something, George Lucas went in and added and subtracted things, and it that's not great. But that Jaws, this one was just incredible. Um, so movies that were recorded digitally directly to tape have to be upscaled, but film has so much more detail. Okay. Yeah, and again, I'm glad you say that. That's something that I'm just looking into. Is that I know that they do have the upscale players, right? So you're saying movies that were recorded digitally directly to tape have to be upscaled, but film has so much more detail. Yeah. So yeah, that's part of the whole. Yeah, that's part of the process, or creating this wherever you watch movies, the surround sound or whatever you're using the player. Right. I know that they sell upscale machines, right? Upscale. So they'll take the Blu-ray and improve the audio and video, but right. But this restoration with Jaws was a whole different thing, right? And what's cool with some of the new technology, I think that with the DVDs, it just wasn't big enough. It wasn't large enough to hold all the files, so they compressed it. And now it's kind of opening up and expanding what you're able to do and see. It's interesting. It's amazing. It really is. As an artist and consumer, what do you think about using the image or sound of artists after they pass on? Well, that's a good question. I mean, I hear this argument every day on the station I always talk about, WNIR out of Akron. And this is a debate on there all the time. They had Howie, who was a long time radio host there for years and years, just a staple in Akron. And so, the guy that's in his time now uses his sound bites all the time, like, um, just silly things like, "What do you think, Howie?" He'll say, I play a soundbite, "Speak into the mic, sir," or just sounders like that, just one-liners. And it's a mixed bag, Mike. They have callers that call and complain that they're, you know, dragging his image through the mud by playing these sound bites. I mean, the guy that's playing the sound bites, or anybody, that radio station in general, he was sort of their Art Bell, or their, name a big radio host. I mean, he was sort of their guy. So it's kind of like a history in that case with Howie. For me, I feel like they're honoring him. You know, people are covering, you know, are trying to do a show and still include him. So I mean, in that case, I think it's fine and great and celebrated. But you're saying, oh, about AI using the image or sound of artists after they pass on. That's a whole different thing. That is a whole another good uh topic, Mike. Let's get into that a little bit. What's up, Bud Files? Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Saturday. Welcome. Welcome. Um, Bud Files, of course, doing great video. Go over and subscribe to Bud Files. Um, let's see what. As a consumer, the thought of AI creating like a new. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That's what me and Kelly were talking about. I think, or Don the other day, or maybe it's whoever we were talking about that. Um, yeah, I would hate to see a new AI Zeppelin album. I would not like, and I think whoever I was talking to about it, I don't know what band we were talking about, but I was definitely saying, I hope I'm not around for something like that. But you know, it's coming. You know, that is coming because um, Kiss is preparing for it. I think in 2 years, they have the new Kiss avatar. You know, they just did the whole um, Kiss final tour, and now they're setting up for the Avatar tour. So generations to come will be able to go watch a Kiss concert of avatars um, play, and you know it's kind of wild because they'll be able to have any sort of moves or do anything they want. However, when it comes to creating and writing and making new music, it's scary, but it's coming. But I don't think. Oh man, I'm not cool with it. I mean, I like how they've done it in the past with some of the Beatles stuff. They took what they had of John Lennon and they made a tune about it, whether it only had a few lines or something. They made a song about it. But if you're gonna take that and then have John Lennon AI sing it, man, I don't think I'm down with I don't think I'm good with that. I mean, I don't know. Somebody argue it. I mean, argue why that would be a good thing. That's a really great question, Mike. And Cam, what's going on? Hey, calm it down, folks. Calm it down. Cam, what's going on? Elysium. Yeah, we got it. I was watching you the other night. Um, I don't know if I commented. I don't know if I did, but I meant to. I meant to say calm it down, folks, on Cam's where he's got probably his new studio going up. And I know the other night you were talking about bike ride doing some bike riding videos, which calm down, Van Life Biker says. That's right, folks. Calm down. So Cam, we'll have to set it up to get you up and we got to talk about because Cam's talking about mountain biking. Of course, Van Life and I started e-biking last year, and that's I mean, you know, obviously I needed to go with the e-bike. I needed it not to be so intense at first. Hopefully I'll get there like you're doing, Cam, with the mountain bikes, man. That's cool. And we got to talk about that. And hopefully I'll use mine. I have a mountain bike too. But right now I'm hooked on the e-bike. Um, and so it really, I mean, it opened up everything. I mean, I was as soon as I could and got that bike last year, man, I was riding 5 miles, no problem. Obviously with a lot of assistance. E-biker trash, right? You can find that shirt in the store. Van Life doesn't like it because I have something off center about it. Someday we'll fix it, but you can't get it off center. Limited edition, I might add, e-biker trash um, shirt in the store. Thank you. All right, let me catch up. Calm down. Let me catch up. Hold on. Calm down. Nothing much, bro. Busy with the kids, but I'm filming way more. Ready for the new year. Absolutely, Cam. And that's one of the things. That's one of my goals this year too. Is I got out there with the GoPro quite a bit last year, but that's definitely that's really what I love to do. I do love talking to you guys. I love sitting here, but I really do um, uh, being out there filming whatever it is. So both things are cool, and I think it's good to incorporate both with the channel. But we'll be looking for some of your videos. Let's see. Yeah, filming. Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, Cam's gonna come out. Awesome. That is awesome. E-biker trash. What's going on with that? E-biker trash. Yeah, that is the one of the shirts in the in the uh in the store. E-biker trash. Um, well, with Bruce Willis. Oh, I have mixed emotions as long as an artist is involved. I don't see a problem with it. Yeah, I'm not. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know they've done it as far as finishing movies. I mean, it's not a new thing, right? Um, if you go way back, um, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Copy. I think that does it. If anybody wants to come up, or we're planning for later, Cam, whichever you'd like to do. Um, Socks and Stand Bicycle Club has gone electric. Yeah, we're definitely electric now. We're on with the electric bikes, the e-bikes. E-bike are trash. We have a name and everything. I just can't remember it. But that's what I wanted to get to was it's not a new concept to finish up a film, right? If the um, actress passes away, the first one that comes to mind is Ed Wood, right? So he at the end of Bela Lugosi's career had him in every movie he was making, whether it made sense or not. But I think I don't know which movie it was. If it was Plan 9 from Outer Space, or which movie it was. Bela Lugosi passed away right while they were filming it, and um, oh, okay. How do you send him? Oh, okay, cool, Kim. David, it's same as my channel name, David Divine Broadcasted at gmail.com. David Divine Broadcasted at gmail.com. Hit that like button while I got my radio voice going. Yeah, it's just David Divine Broadcasted at gmail.com. But so and then I'll get back to you. We'll set it up. Yeah, okay, cool. Yep, yeah. For scheduling the show. Yeah, let's do it, man. Absolutely. I don't know. I don't think Cam's been on. And so it'd be cool for everybody to see him. We'll talk about e-biking and mountain biking and filming and everything, man. All right, cool. All right, cool. But so getting back to Bela Lugosi, he passed away while they were doing that last film, and so Ed Wood broadcasted. Did I spell it wrong? Oh no. All right. Uh, so they had like probably Ed Wood dressed up like Bela Lugosi and finished filming the film, right? And I think they did some stuff with Joker. I'm sure there's plenty of examples, but those are a couple that come to mind. So I mean, that makes sense. But to make brand new, to finish up a project or whatever, I think that makes massive amount of sense, right? And I think Mike said is something about with Howie, as long as his family's into it. Let's see. Let's go scroll back. But um, if the family of Howie is getting paid, yeah, I don't know how they have that worked out. If that's worked out at all, don't know. Um, oh, Ed, yeah, right, yeah. Instead of broadcast did. But yeah, but as far as making new content, like no, not using anybody. Again, if there's a member, whatever, I don't know I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Again, it's going to fall into who has the rights. If someone has the rights, they'll probably be able to do it. And yeah, that's weird. It's a great concept. That's a great Question, Mike. Broadcasted. Salty says, Fast and Furious did a terrible job after Paul Walker passed. Unpopular opinion, maybe. I don't know. I have not seen, believe it or not, I don't think I've seen any of those. I think I attempted, I just wasn't into it. And now I know we've talked about it somewhere or here or somewhere where they're up to it was called the Fast and Furious, but they got to be getting to the point where it's like the slow and sort of angry, right? They're not quite as fast and furious as they used to be. There's a lot of them, but I know, yeah, there's probably people that like that and didn't like them finishing that. 14 degrees, winds from the west. Oh, yeah. The temperature is currently 14 degrees, winds from the west southwest at 10 miles an hour. The current moon phase is waxing gibbous. Let's go to traffic, Bob. Oh, that's funny. Okay, awesome. All right, I will. Let's see. Let me take a live look, folks, while Bob's doing the traffic. While Bob's doing the traffic, Bob, take it over in the booth. Let me see if I got cams, because I know you guys care if I got it from Cam. His message. Let's see. I don't think I got it yet. Let's see. David Devine broadcasted at gmail.com. Not yet, but it might be slow. Oh, yeah, I got it. Yep, I got it. Breaking news. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. Breaking news. I got the message. I got Cam's message. All right. Calm down. Breaking news. I will send it back. Calm down. I will email you back when I'm done here, or maybe we'll do an email. I'll email Cam's segment back. We'll see. But calm down nonetheless, and hit the like button. So yeah, thank you guys for being here on a Saturday night. If actors and artists want to set it up like Bruce Willis did. Oh, so he set it up kind of owned by the Hollywood. Yeah. Right. And that is, calm down. 5G's working fine. Like, sub, and calm down. Yeah. I know Mike said something about the commercials already. Sorry about the commercials. Whatever. Couple commercials. Calm down and watch a couple commercials. But yeah, I know if they set it up, Bruce Willis set it up. I haven't heard. I'm gonna have to look into what Bruce Willis did as far as, I guess, continuing his movie career with AI. Maybe is that what we're talking about? I have to look into that. That's a great subject. Maybe that'll be my next subject. That's cool. Or like Kiss did it. Kiss did it intentionally, right? Kiss did it intentionally so that generation after generation can see the Kiss meme rock show, which, yeah, that ought to be interesting. Like, sub, and calm down. That ought to be interesting to see how that goes. And more bands will do it. They started this a long time ago. Again, all the way back to Ed Wood putting in actors. I'm sure they did it a long time before that. They've been doing hologram shows with Elvis for quite a few years now, right? I haven't seen one myself, but I heard that was pretty cool. So it's kind of the same thing, except you're taking out like the hologram show with Elvis, like, sub, and calm down. The Hollywood show or the hologram show with Elvis, you got the players there. I'm not sure if they use that. They probably use some of his original band. Maybe, I don't know. But so that was probably cool. But now with what Kiss is doing, you're eliminating right? You're eliminating all live performances, and I guess probably I would imagine why have that if you're not looking at it. Um, so I mean, yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, that's the thing. Who knows? And things are always changing. Things are always changing, and quite often always the same, except for technology, right? Is that true? Someone told me that before. Is that true? That nothing changes except technology. That's what they told me. You guys believe that? To any degree, do you believe that? Nothing changes except for technology. Think about it. Think about it for a second and get back to me with your answers after I get in, sit down, shut up, hang on, and calm down. That should be a t-shirt. I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot that right there, Van Life. I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot that. Get in. Because if it's not a t-shirt, it has to be an intro video, at least. Get in, sit down, shut up, hang on, and calm down. All those things are good. Yeah. Yeah. And watch an ad. Let's see. What if Bruce Willis has been AI? Who knows? And with that concept of has anything is everything the same except technology? With that concept, going along with that, have we been advanced before to levels that we are just trying to get to now? That's another good question. All these great show ideas right here. We're doing it live. Folks, we're having a live production meeting. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gene Simmons is a savage businessman. Smart move. Yeah, absolutely. He's a smart businessman. Remember when they did that Kiss's last tour and they ended up in New York City where it all began. Think about that. Kiss used to open up for the New York Dolls and ended up shutting down Manhattan. They had Kiss taxis, Kiss light up this building, that building. Man, think about how far they came and what they accomplished. Wow. Yeah, I guess you do have to be a smart businessman. If you can read this shirt, the young lady fell off. Look at that. If you can read this shirt, the young lady, the beautiful young lady fell off. The nice gal with great parents fell off. The intelligent, wonderful love of my life fell off. That's great. What's up, Steve Harloha? As always, I'm still working, but as always, I'm listening, but I'm not in chat. Aloha, everyone, and much love. Great to see you, Steve. Hopefully, we can make you. Um, Cam says we need to calm it down with all the AI. I think, yeah, I think so. I mean, the AI is crazy. It is, and it's a little bit demonic, isn't it? I hope that we can help Steve Harloha get through the day, uh, and have a nice Saturday night. And I know Steve's streaming tomorrow, so watch Steve tomorrow night with Ronnie. Yeah, we do need to calm it down with the tech. India, aloha. I'll use Steve's line. Aloha, Indy. Great to see you. Did I miss it? Did I miss it? It depends what you're looking for. You may have missed it. It may still have yet to happen. And if that's the case, just stay tuned, Indy. But if you missed it, I'm sorry, and I'll try to recap it for you. I'll do what I can. Cam wants to go back in time and see Boston. That would be great. I haven't seen Boston. I'll tell you. Um, let me check something. It won't matter. No one's up here anyway. Let's see. My headphones just shut down. It won't matter. No one's up here anyway. All right, there we go. Yeah. So if I can hear, there's none to listen to anyway. Calm it down. All right. Let's go back and see. Bruce Willis, Gene Simmons. My young lady fell off. What else we got? Yeah, my headphones are talking to me. Steve is working at noon. Yeah, he should be on a lunch break. Oh, I missed something. I missed the Salty's AI maybe. Or tech talk. Oh, maybe this is it. Let's see. People and tech change for better or worse. Yeah. Wow, people and tech. Yeah, I don't know, yeah, if you missed it, calm down, Indy. All right, she's staying tuned in then. She may have missed it. We're not sure, but Indy may have missed it, but we're not sure yet. We'll find out. Stay tuned, everyone. Go back in time and see Boston. Yeah, that would be awesome. Who would you guys want to see? I think, man, is everybody from Boston gone? Have they never even thought about? I mean, when's the last time Boston played? That's wild. Yeah, I mean, great band. Yeah, no idea. Andy's staying tuned. David, curious your thoughts on my comments a few lines up. Okay, let me see. Aloha. I think it's good that you said hi to Steve. No, let's see. Okay, here we go. I would replace technology with our perception. Applies to everything throughout our lives. All right, that's good. That's good. Let me dissect that for a second. Hold on while I'm calm down while I'm dissecting this. I would replace technology with our perception. Applies to everything throughout our life. That's interesting. Our perception. So yeah, a couple things come to mind, like replacing technology with our perception. So sort of. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I don't. This is deep. Here's how it could go. The problem with replacing technology is that I don't. Well, I mean, I don't think that you have the opportunity replacing technology with um, the massive amount of information that we can receive at instant speeds now as before. For instance, if you had an 8-track, if you only had an 8-track or a record, if you only had a record in the radio station, right? You you could only use the record, the technology. Generally, if you heard the song on the radio, or if you went to the record store and you were into that sort of thing and you just kind of combed through it like a geek, reading the backs of all the um, albums and just buying it that way. Now, you know, you can read, you know, the technology now you can read like you used to read the back of the album. Now you can read a Wikipedia page and click the blue links all throughout the page. And now all this information is available instantaneously. How does that change things? Well, it's like having like a million radio stations feeding you information and places to look. But also when you say so on one hand, I think it's hard to replace that word technology. But when you said consciousness or perception, uh, I agree with you 100% on that part, because that's the other side of it, where it is kind of a yin and yang, is that depending on your perception and where you're at mentally, you you could take that information and do things with it, or else just write it off instantly too, right? So if you're not ready to take in all the information, again, you could be told a million times about something, and until you're on a conscious level, or you have the perception uh, interest yourself in that, and have it make sense to you. So I mean it's a really deep subject, and it's a great topic, and I hope you guys are writing these down. I have to write them down, because I mean, you just gave me like 15 show ideas. Technology, tech versus perception, AI, AI replacing, or not replacing, actors, actresses, musicians, but adding or enhancing, or that's another thing. Calm down. We'll figure out all these different show ideas. All right. Never Van Life never liked Joe Walsh. All right. Joe Walsh. Yeah. Joe Walsh went to Kent State. Kent State's not too far from me, down the street. Joe Walsh, obviously, Cleveland guy, was on Drew Carey, had a solo career previous to the Eagles, came to the Eagles, made the Eagles ultimately better, in my opinion. And it's just an all around badass. I love Joe Walsh. So I want to say I've seen him, but Allman Brothers, yeah, that would be great. Van Life never liked Boston. More of a mandatory Metallica guy. Well, it's all right. You can like Metallica and Boston, but if you don't, it's fine. Calm down if you don't like Boston. Just calm down. All right. We're getting into more than your feelings, right? Is that more than a feeling? Calm down. But yeah, you can like Metallica, and you can like anybody else too. I bet you Metallica has some strange influences that you wouldn't think about. If I could go back, I'd like to find the garage boss that started in and hang out. Yeah, and again, being from where I'm at, another person right down the street, Janie Lane, was a singer and writer from Warrant, right? Obviously, he was influenced heavily on Boston. You can hear it in all, everything he sings, especially on the later albums. So there's that. Pantera and Slayer. Yeah. Man, I used to have a buddy that was just all into Slayer. And I'm telling you, it's wild. It's wild. Yeah. I used to have a buddy that was all into Slayer, and it's wild. I mean, if you drive around listening to Slayer, you know, no, generally not a whole lot of people mess around with you. It's just kind of intimidating music, isn't it? Or at least he was. Pantera, that was too hard for me. That's what she said. All right, here we go. Let's see. Everything in the world stays the same. Only our perception changes. Could trigger technology advances as a side effect. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Salty. I agree with that. And that was kind of my point. That's what someone told me. Everything in the world stays the same, only our perception changes. They worded it to me like uh, nothing changes except technology. And so that's why I proposed it that way, but that's exactly it. Everything in the world stays the same, only perception changes. And perception could trigger technology advances, side effects, and you got to wonder if they were at some point. Remember, they one of the things about the moon landing is they said they haven't been back because they lost the technology, right? They lost the technology. That's what they said. Um, were we more far advanced and they lost the technology, or was it suppressed? Um, because or were they just not interested? You got to think that with thousands of years of our existence, that we couldn't have been the last 1 to 200 we made all these advances. It's kind of a wild concept, but yeah, really, um, everything stays the same. So, and with that being said, that means that you know all through the years, people right have faced the same problems with um, personal relationships, uh, age issues, all that stuff was common to what we're going through now. So all that stuff was always the same. It's just the different technology we use. So now compared to then, unless not technology was at one point up to snuff with what we have now. I don't know. Let's see. Let's catch up. Computers have just made humans stupid. That could be argued. Yep, that could be argued. I think it changed things for again what we're talking about with there's my headphones again. But what we're talking about with consciousness and perception, it's probably changed things for the better and for the worse, right? All at the same time. Maybe. Let me catch up. Let me calm down. I'm trying to catch up. It's almost like information overload. We had so little access. Now the younger generation has too much. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, whoa. It's crazy. Yeah. I think about it. I argued it the other night. Again, people always say the younger generation is lazy and bags on and all this. Ag- But they're growing up again, they're growing up with different technology. Um, and, and if they are lazier, who's to blame? You always got to wonder that, right? Who's to blame? Was it what contributed to that? Or is it they don't have to do things that we had to do and we perceive them as lazy now? I don't know. Or are they just lazy? And who contributed to that? Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. Agree, but every conversation requires a Google. Yeah. Right. You don't have to have it in your memory. Right. So if you rely on that, let me Google it. Let me Google it. Let me Google it. You don't you don't have to retain it. Right. But also, well, I think in the case where I noticed it when GPSs first started coming out, and you couldn't ride in a car without someone GPSing where they were going, even if it was right down the street. That's a case where I think you're using technology as a crutch, right? You're not even trying. You're not trying to retain it. You're not trying to use it just to get lost. You don't want to get lost, but also you don't even want to think about where you're going, especially if it's only a mile or two down the street. That yeah, that's pretty lazy. If you don't even want to retain it, but Googling things, because again, you're you're having conversations and thoughts about a lot more now too. Could you retain all that information? Or are we just scattered and too unfocused? I don't know. All good questions. Great conversation tonight. Um, let's see. Most people 50 years old know their home phone number. Yeah, 50 years old. Yeah, right. You knew your phone number and a whole tons of phone. You knew all kinds of phone numbers. It was mandatory, right? You didn't get to put them in your phone. I mean, you could always write them down, right? People had Rolodexes, remember those? Or write a number on your hand. But now you have, like me and Cam, just calm down. I got Cam's email, but we just exchanged it like that. Now you know you have all these different. Who know? This is great. It's a great conversation. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Try to scroll around here. My ex's nephew lived across from Peter Frampton, somewhere in Tennessee. That's awesome. Do you feel right? Awesome. That was awesome. I bet listening to no one was complaining about band practice at the neighbor's house when you live next to Peter Frampton, right? Well, now if you're van life, you would complain about band practice if Boston was your neighbor, but not Peter Frampton. Um, yeah, Indy knows a handful of numbers. And it's wild, some of the numbers that stick with you, right? Like numbers that you should not have retained 20, 30 plus years or 20, whatever, however many. There's numbers I do remember from a million years ago. We should call them up one night on the show. Just any of the old numbers I can remember and see who lives there now. We don't think anymore. We don't think anymore. You don't use it, you lose it. I agree. Yeah, I think that's obvious. I think, yeah, obviously you have to always be engaging your mind, right? Um, I think that's probably pretty important. Did I miss some? Let's see. Let's see. Do 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 do. Here's my scrolling back music. Do do do. Oh no, I was seeing things. Okay. Oh, that's it. Steve says I only use GPS because I use Waze, and it helps let me know if pop-ups pop. Oh, Popo. Yeah. Well, no, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, I use GPS. I do. Um, yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Um, but yeah, if you're going a couple miles, I think it's important that yeah, you should know your surrounding area, right? You should be able to get around the city you live in, depending on the size of the city, right? Um, I think that's pretty important. I mean, if you, again, if you're traveling or right, you want to look for cops, popo, as they say in Detroit, and now Hawaii, and maybe a town near you. um, computers, yeah, yeah. That's the dichotomy, right? Is that the right word? Um, some people become smarter, make a trade lazy, and some advance. Right. And that's how how you use the tools too. Yeah. Right. Um, power. I mean, this is a great debate. Power tools just made trading faster while the contractor charged more, made more. I mean, this is a good debate because I don't know, there's no answer yet, right? We can speculate on what we've seen so far, but and again, as soon as we probably come up with this answer, the next one will be there, right around the corner. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a great debate. It all depends. You can use the tool as a crutch, right? Right. I don't know where to go. 5 seconds down the road, fast or easy, or tool achieve higher goal previously. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, it does. I mean, it where you used to have to pay to do a lot of things, say recording in a studio, home recording, broadcasting from your room in your house, making videos, talking to people around the world. Like some of those things used to cost a lot of money and you'd have to plan and go do them. Now you can do it from your cell phone. So it's brought the cost. I mean, but then it really hasn't changed. Well, I don't know. This is a great conversation. Um, because obviously there's still great value in those great recording studios, great engineers, and that. And then you have the people that can just push record on their phone and sound fantastic or live. So uh, it's crazy. It's a great conversation. Um, Google's getting out of hand. Uh, oh, that's funny. He had to Google what a palette was. Hold on 1 second. Calm down. Hold on. I'll be back in 1 sec. Okay, all right. I'm back. I made it back. So the employee had to Google what a pallet stretcher was. I only use GPS because I use Waze. Oh, I already read that one for the Popo from Steve. Um, David needs to calm down. That's true. I probably do need to calm down. I need to take my own advice. Mm. It's hard now, man, life, because now I've been making coffee, but also espresso too, right? So calming down when you're drinking espresso and coffee is not the easiest thing. But I try to mix in water and not have too many espressos every day. Do you guys like espresso? Espresso, not espresso. Um, what's up, Black Watch? Good to see you. Happy Saturday. Um, um, thanks for being here. My mom's ex-boyfriend was friends with Kid Rock before he was big time. I remember riding around in the back seat of his Monte Carlo listening to songs most people never heard of. Yeah. Um, we knew, yeah, I knew, yeah, he would play. Kid Rock would play around here. I know he actually opened for a friend of mine's band at a place called Peabody's in downtown Cleveland back in the day. And he was selling cassettes out of his trunk. And then he went on to be Kid Rock. But yeah, he was hard working, man. He was hard working. So, and he's a good writer, right? Blackwatch says David can sure espresso himself. Absolutely. Um, I can espresso. I can definitely espresso myself, Black Watch. Thanks for noticing. I appreciate that. Mike Jones says Maxwell House is calling my name. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I make a pot. This one I made a pot. I think it's Donut Shop if you guys obviously probably tried that. But I also have a K-cup maker so you could try all different kinds. And I just discovered the French roast. I stayed away from it. Why? I don't know. I thought it was a whole different thing, but actually it's just stronger, really. It's like almost a whole coffee cup full of espresso. Kid Rock was once known as Pet Rock. I don't know if that's true. We'll fact check Black Watch on that one. We'll fact check that information. We'll see if Kid Rock was actually one time called Pet Rock. We don't know. But if not, we'll have to check out Pet Rock's music. They graduate and don't know nothing. Van Life, tell us how you feel about things nowadays. That's funny. Nescafe. If you prefer Nescafe, Black Watch, that's awesome. I found some Nescafe gift things, mugs, and maybe I'll use one of them on the show with some Nescafe in it. But I think that's more of an instant kind of coffee thing. And I'm not a big in instant coffee, but I mean, if I had to have instant coffee or no coffee, I'm going with instant coffee. All right. I don't know. Yeah. I think that I don't know what Indy was missing, but I know that we were going to talk about restores and restores of movies, and one of them was Jaws. We did talk about that. We did talk about it. We talked about how awesome it is. We'll have to get in more in depth with some videos. There's a lot of great movies, man. I've been into sci-fi movies so hardcore now. And that's going to be another topic. I mean, there is so much foresight. We'll call it foresight in science fiction that it's not even funny. I mean, you could go back to Metropolis in the 20s, and you could go before the turn of the century and find stuff. In sci-fi. That's when sci-fi started. I'm sure that programming is probably also in, plays throughout history and writings. But I'm talking about sci-fi, and why it relates now is because a lot of that stuff is happening now. A lot of stuff that was blowing our grandparents' minds, is all coming true. Mike Jones says, if I hit the lotto, I want to buy a third scale big equipment for kids to learn how to operate them. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, you would think that that's a good idea, Mike Jones. Oh, Van Life's continuing to pound on how he feels about what's going on now. That's great. Yeah, you mean I have to go outside? Oh, hell no. Oh, but that's the other here's another question that we were talking about just earlier, and I had other things with music, movie restoration. We'll get into it. We'll probably, well, I don't know. We'll see what time we get off here. We'll talk about some other movie restorations. I know that the 1976 version of King Kong I'm going to watch tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But who is better, King Kong or Godzilla? Which one's better? We had that. Someone asked me that. My daughter asked me that. Who's better, King Kong or Godzilla? But yeah, tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to watch the rest. I don't know. It's not as detailed as the Jaws restoration. Was just incredible. This one probably just cleaned it up. The thing they did with Jaws was just unbelievable. Where frames were too screwed up, they'd bring frames from the left and the right and blend them and mesh them and go frame by frame. This one tomorrow is probably they just cleaned up the sound a little bit and I'm saying like it was just so easy. Oh, I just did that. Now I'm sure it was still a massive process, but it wasn't. Jaws massive. King Kong versus Godzilla. Yeah, who's better, Mike Jones? Not who would win or who would win. I know, but who's better? Which one do you like better? My answer was obviously Godzilla. Godzilla should win in that fight, right? David, why should Godzilla win in that fight? Well, Godzilla can breathe fire, right? And is a monster created by nuclear waste. Has massive, protective plates on his back, right? Can live underwater. And so you'd think, yeah, he probably would would go. And King Kong's just a large version of a real thing, an ape. So I mean, he has massive amount of strength, but you know, no, no super beastly powers like Godzilla. But I think I like King Kong better. Um, AI could take both of them out. Look at that. Mhm. AI could beat them both. That's the right bingo. That's the right answer, Van Life. AI could take them both out. AI could definitely take both Godzilla and King Kong out at the same time with one hand tied behind its back. AI definitely. Definitely at the same time. Yeah, AI could take them both out. That's funny. Good question. Or I mean, good comment. That's funny. Yeah, AI could definitely take them both out. Scary thought. Yeah, I mean they had that. I mean, continuing on that, they did just have the new Godzilla movie out in theaters from Toho Studios. They've done it many times over the years, like licensed from a different company, but right, Toho, right? I think I'm saying that right. Studio uh did this one, which is the first one they've done since the 80s. And I went and saw it, and what I could say is it appeared to be a a reboot, remake of the original, but it was great. I mean, it was phenomenal. The original Godzilla is hard if you I mean, everybody's seen it, right? But it is a great movie. The cool thing about that movie is that, in both obviously the Japanese version and then the American version is the same thing, only with obviously, you know, overdubbed English. Then they put an actor in there to talk to the Japanese actors, which looks a bit odd, but it's still a great movie. I mean, it's a great movie because they developed the characters and then Godzilla came around. It was important that they developed the characters first, and that's what they did with the new movie. It was cool with the modern kind of twist, but it was good. It looked great. And then I think a new King Kong movie's coming out. I don't know. Bruce Willis, to be exact. AI Bruce Willis. That's right. Could beat up both King Kong and Godzilla. That's true. That's the correct answer. How about a movie where AI br- brings movies to literally to life, literally to life. Man, that could suck big time, couldn't it? Imagine that. Yeah. You at first thought you're like, that's interesting, but no, AI Godzilla, right? You're uh you're in the movie theater and all of a sudden Godzilla busts in. Not great. You have to if that does happen, know where the the emergency exits are. Sit down and find out the emergency exits just in case Godzilla busts in. Yeah, but think about that. You're in a you have a shootout going on, all of a sudden it's real, right? You go you you go see like a rom-com. You go see a rom-com, all of a sudden you're in the romantic comedy, right? All of a sudden you're at the movie theater and all of a sudden you're sitting next to Woody Allen and you're having just an hour and a half dialogue with Woody Allen because AI has brought Woody Allen to life and sat him right next to you. And his movies are full of dialogue. So you're talking in the theater. And so all of a sudden you're talking to Woody Allen in the theater because AI set him right next to you. And people all around you are trying to shush you up. Because you and Woody Allen are being too loud. That could be crazy. You can't tell Woody Allen. He wrote this movie. You can't shush Woody Allen. Yeah. We're trying to have a conversation about New York here or Queens or one of the boroughs. All his movies are in one of the boroughs. I do like Woody Allen movies, though. I just watched one last night that was called Radio Days on Tubi. I'd seen it before, but I put it on in the background. It's a good movie, but it's all about dialogue. But I like dialogue, so that's great. I'd go to the theater to watch that. $20 popcorn and all. Yeah, how about that? AI is scary stuff for sure. Yeah, we've talked about that when we've had Kelly on. Kelly does the AI videos about he's doing the ones on the Bible and he does song lyrics and stuff, and he puts them in Discord. If you're in our Discord or one of the Discords, Happy After Hours Discord, he has his own link in there and he puts good stuff. But we have talked about that too, where a lot of the material comes out very dark, very dark. Um, Imagine if the world lasts hundreds of years from now. People have AI images of people alive today. Yeah, check out Kelly on AI books. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, people AI images of people alive today. Yeah, they will. I mean, it's all everything's recorded now. They'll have everything on record. Whether or not they'll want to bring it up is another case. But again, we've always had photography, right? But it's wild when Eastman Kodak changed things. It took a whole back of a truck bed full of equipment to take a photo outside of a studio. And, that was in the first 20 years of the turn of the century. And now everything's being recorded. Right. I had been given a lot of cameras because I collected them. So people gave me cameras. No one ever threw away a camera, it seems. So I told a few people I collect cameras, and all of a sudden, everybody brought me their grandparents' cameras, their parents' cameras, their uncles' cameras, and and there had to be close to 100, but they were bringing me film too, and slides and all kind of camera paraphernalia, and a lot. And it's wild to go through some of those pictures, really wild. And some of them, because taking a photo was an event, basically, you know, depending on the year it was on. But some of the film that I received, some of the slides were at funerals. So going through people's slides because they didn't have a picture of that person. So they took a photo of them at their funeral, which was shocking the first time I saw one. Definitely check out Kelly. And yeah, yeah. Hundreds of years from now. Yeah. Where's it gonna go? I'll tell you one where it's gonna go for sure. And then we'll start wrapping it up. All right, calm down. We're gonna wrap it up. But I've had a great time. These are great concepts and great thoughts. Using my Christmas mug, drinking some donut shop stuff. Um, now I forgot what I was going to say. Look at that climax. Now, geez, I forgot what I was going to say. What was I talking about? AI was, yeah. Where technology is going to go. Obviously, this is where it's going to lead. Next, this is I'm telling the future here, folks. So check it out. And obviously, you probably know this too. Everything now. Um, um, Thank you. I appreciate that message. Um, here's where it's going to go next. This is going to happen. Um, let's see. We're going to make some badass robots, boy. We're going to make some robots, boys. That's right. We are going to make some there are going to be some robots, some Cylon-like creatures. But here's the thing. Here's where it's going to go. We're going to make some badass robots, boys. I like that. I got to write all these down. We're going to make some badass robots, boys. Right. From the 70s alone, so many enhanced movies. That's what we're doing now. We're really going through the seven. I mean, there was something changed in the 70s. Something changed in the 70s as far as filmmaking. That's a whole nother subject. That's a great subject too. Let me write that down. Hold on. Calm down while I write this down. But I want to tell you guys where it's going to go. And you probably know this. Hold on. All right, here's where it's going to go. Here's where it's going to go next. And you guys know this. You're all smart. Everyone in here's been smart. It's been a great conversation tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Having some coffee or whatever you're having, boys, building some badass robots, whatever. Quite possible. I bet. And that's a scary thing. That's a scary thing, van life, for people that like to sell things at a garage sale or make a couple extra bucks cash, right? To do whatever. It stinks that kind of thing will have to be reimagined. And that's another subject. Hold on, but let me tell you. Hold on. Let me write that down. All right, here's where things are going next. I'll slide this in before I get sidetracked, but here's where it's going to go. A robot Godzilla would be awesome. I want a robot Godzilla. Here's where things are going to go. Right now, the key to everything that we do in our lives, uh, as far as technology, is when we leave the house, when we walk away from the computer, then we always have our phone with us, folks. So we have the phone. We've discussed a lot of things, what the phone does. The phone can be used as a GPS. We can text like we did, or we can get emails like me and Cam proved tonight live on the show. Yeah, Van Life says we keep giving you ideas for future shows, and these are great. Well, I mean, great, better than any ideas I ever think of. Sitting around, what can we talk about tonight? Although I do like the remastered Jaws topic. I did like that. I'd like to get into it deeper because it is cool, man. I mean, it looks great. But Van Life says we keep giving him ideas for future shows. It's absolutely true. Great thoughts, and we'll do all these shows as long as I don't lose the notes that I made. But so anyway, you walk out, you're using your phone. We've talked about a lot of different uses. Obviously, no one puts their phone down. They're always looking at the phone. You're calling an Uber, right? You're whatever you're doing it on your phone, and you're constantly doing it, and it's just nonstop. Oh, and Mike Jones, he gives he says, do not carry phones on your front pockets. That's good advice. And also, if you want kids, be nice to the ladies. Be polite, boys. So watch with the phone and be nice to the ladies. But so here's where it's going to go real soon, is that right now the key is that you have the phone, right? You have the phone and everything's done from the phone. Well, the future, in the next near future, is going to be all those things. Call an Uber without the phone, all those things. I think it will be set up outside your phone. It will have to do with, whether it's eyeglass technology or hologram technology in the real air or whatever, or you're touching and swiping the air, or just thinking it. That's obviously where we're going next, because the key to everything, the key to keeping all the progress that we either want or don't want, is the phone. If we all stop carrying phones, like Van Life said in this comment, right? That would be impossible if we all said we're not using the phone anymore. That would be impossible, because we would be declaring that we are not interested in the technology. Because you can, at this point in time, you can simply put your phone down. You could put your phone down and just walk away, calm down, and live. Because we used to do that. Remember, we used to do that. We never had the phone, and we got along just fine. We've talked about that already tonight. Again, maybe information was slower or whatever, but you could just put the phone down. But my point to this whole thing is, the next step is obviously eliminating the use of your choice, which we all choose the phone anyway, but eliminating the choice for you to have the phone or not have the phone, because it will just be in the ether or in the Internet of Things, right? That they use, that Internet of Things. So yeah, it would be just like Uber, I'm ready. And it would be heard, and Uber will show up. It would take out the scrolling and the need, again, for the phone. And that's where things are going next. But I think all you smart people know that. Let's see. Let me catch up here, and then we'll start winding it down. exactly correct because my nephew is working on that at Apple. He's an engineer there, so there we go. Yeah. Was I right or wrong? Yeah, no, I was right, and I got told I was right away by Van Life, by his nephew that works at Apple. So, yeah, everything will just be like it will without the phone, though, you know, that and that's crazy, but not that crazy. I mean, you could talk about something or your phone could overhear right now. It could overhear someone talking about something, and you get an email about it. Um, can you imagine the US without power? No phone, no fuel or net, just saying. Well, that's another great topic. I have to say that's another great topic. You know why? Because a lot of people talk about that possibility, Mike Jones. But if that were to happen, it would literally halt all the progress we want or don't want. It would halt it, right? The power and the internet is one of the tools it's going to take to do all this stuff that we discuss about, you know. You can't do it without power. So that is why I fear that least. Because I would think that all these things that we're talking about with technology and moving forward, you need power for all that stuff, right? You have to have it. You can't, I don't think you could use solar, right? But can I imagine? Yeah, that would be crazy, man. But that's one of the reasons I'm not all that crazy worried about it. I think they would scurry to fix that very problem because all the moving forward with all the different processes or processes, however you want to say it, can't move forward without power. I would think that the people that were scared of taking the power would scurry to fix it because the plan would be wiped out without power. Any sort of plan other than person to person or paper dollar or whatever. It would foil all the talk about anything other than that because all of that requires power. Um, but anyway, that's that. I mean, can you imagine? Yeah, that would be horrible. However, I think, I mean, I don't know who needs it more. Who needs the power more? We don't have to imagine it, Mike. Kids today do, though. Yeah, kids today. Yeah, and us. I mean, we've gotten a little spoiled, but I mean, yeah. Although I camped as a kid. We you know we did. My grandparents we used to go all the time. Of course, they upgraded to a trailer. Trailer had power, but so although I'm familiar with uh, doing things with less power, right? Power was always right there in the background. Um, outside till the streetlights came on. Susie B, good to see you. Hello, David Devine, broadcaster. Good to see you. You guys, if you're not familiar with Susie B, but you guys all have to be familiar with Susie B. Check her out. She has a great show. Catch her, watch her nightly, it seems. It does some cool traveling around and videoing. Check out Susie B. Um, Mike remembers using a compass and map. Mm, good to see you, Susie. Without the phone, be the mark of the beast, though. Without the phone, will without the phone. I don't know. I don't think so. Um, uh, I don't know. That I mean, that's a whole yeah, that's a I'll have to write that down as a topic, but I without the well, that's a good question, Van Life. That is a good question. I don't see how we do anything with cell phones without yeah, I know. One of my favorite Bible stories is high ups refusing and God sends for the street people to come. Interesting. Hello, Mike Jones. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all wild concepts to think about. Yeah, I mean, they're deep and they're not yeah, they're not ones you could sit down. Although I am pretty fast and good at solving problems. We can't do it. We can't solve it in an hour and 40 minutes. But they're cool things to think about and wonder about and see how we go. But I think wrapping up with all this talk tonight that started with restoration of films and went everywhere else and a lot of great topics. I think one of the things is like obviously um, what with all the different things that we could talk about, imagine, and we will talk about those things and wonder. I think it's important. I do think it's very important to constantly create and think about maybe how you could positively influence your surroundings, right? If you can, and continue to yeah, like I said, create um, and and wade through the waters like that. We're talking about movies and AI enhancement. Yeah, we are the computer. Yeah, yeah, we were talking. Yeah, we went. Won't have a problem. Yeah, yep, 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 yep. Yeah, so yeah, there we have it. We started with restoration of movies of Jaws. Highly recommend that. And then we just traveled down a lot of different roads. Um, we will be pushing up daisies, boys. Yeah, yeah. It is weird though, man. I mean, it is weird. It and that's another good subject. I wonder, and I'll kind of wrap up with this, and then we'll get out of here till next time. When's next time? I don't know yet, but we'll do it. We'll start doing a couple. We'll do a couple streams a week maybe. But yeah, you say we'll be pushing up daisies, boys. But yeah, it is weird to think about. Did we ever think we would be here in this situation? In the 70s when we were talking about that, when we were using older technology in the 80s, and do we in the 90s? Obviously, I could go on. You're all smart enough to know that we've progressed in a time frame. But yeah, did we ever think we'd be at this situation where we're looking at a lot of um, just constant negativity, fear, and fear and divisiveness are the ones that scare me, and those are the ones I try not to latch onto. Right? Fear. I try to refuse to live in fear. Right? I think it's important, or be divided. And divided can mean every issue. Like, does van life like Boston or not? Right? It's cool if van life doesn't like Boston. I don't care. Right? That's part of being who you are. So I think those are two interesting things. I think they're big topics. I think there's so much fear, negativity, and divisiveness. So, with all that being said, that we talked about tonight, technology, all the good forms that you could use, like restoring jaws, like we were talking about, and trying to find cool things uh, in the situation that we're in. right? That's it. That's how I have to try to do it. Um, and God asked Job, okay, where was he found on earth? And all the sons of God shouted, answer, we are there at the very beginning. Wow. It's powerful. I'm starting to think that we lived the best years on earth. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I'd have to agree with that in my life. I don't know how they did previous to me, but I know that I know that I am happy that for the most part, I'm happy for the most part as a young person, teenager, in those years. Of course, you start taking on worries the older you get, but as a young person and as a teenager, I don't feel like um, I had to live in such a stressful situation as um, it's easy to get caught up in now, right? It's easy. It's constant. It's just constant stress. We didn't have that. Like Mike Jones or somebody said earlier, to the street lights came on or whatever. Yeah, you could go. I mean, again, older people always walking uphill both ways. They always had it easier or harder. But it was true that you could leave for hours without technology and stress and the stress that comes with it, right? You could just go and you can still do that, right? We proved that with the e-bikes. We're using technology to take the e-bikes out in the middle of nowhere and film using more technology. But I mean, again, it's using the technology to get or do see or do what we want with it, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Calm down. All right. We're not going to answer everything tonight, but I'm glad you all came by. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. Calm down. Van Life Sketch. One more thing. We seen old school and new school. I have to say, old school was better living history. Yeah. I mean, it's wild. We share the world with people that can't go out. Yeah. Well, yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a good point. That's a good point, Susie. That's a real good point. See, here comes Susie at the end, under the wire with a good point. Uh, that I'll have to write down uh, what she said there. We share people the world. We share the world with people that can't go out, and that's important. And it became really important uh, a few years ago with everything that happened, right? Right. And so you see communities and right people can watch right that yeah so that's something that you kind that yeah goes unthought of maybe on how important that really is, and that's a good point. I'm glad you brought it up, Susie, because sometimes you don't think or put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? Maybe I don't do that often enough to think that they can't, right? Right, that's an important point, very important. Okay. um I'm just waiting for my rocking chair to complain about kids' loud music. Yeah. Yeah, these darn kids, loud music. Um, living history, new school. Yeah, I'm tempted to go. I'll make a note of that comment, Van Life, and I'll get back to that because there's actually a good hour discussion in what you just said there. Yeah, walking a mile in someone else's shoes, right? That's something. Um, yeah, I'm glad Susie came in with that. That's pretty powerful, actually, right? Because, yeah, because maybe you do think about it, right? Sometimes, right? It's in your back of your mind. Um, but you can't, maybe, and again, I'm just talking about myself. Maybe I don't consider how powerful that is enough. I mean, I get it, right? But it's a great thought to contemplate and keep fresh in your mind. Um, that's the case. Yeah, it's a great point. Absolutely a great point, and also a great Elvis song. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yep. All right. Well, it's been a great stream. Thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out this Saturday with me. We'll try to do a couple a week or something. We'll see. Thank you, Van Life. Um, and move forward with some of these great show topics. And again, making videos like we talked about with Cam and others that will come on and talk to. Um, right. We never know how far a simple, kind word can go. Isn't that the truth? Thank you, Susie. Yeah, you guys have been awesome. A lot of great points, awesome points. A lot of things. Again, took notes because I'd like to come back and talk about some of these things, and and again throw them out. None of the throw them out and have discussions because in some ways we're at a place in life where we're there for the first time, and so having these discussions and thinking about other people, like we just got an example. Um, um, you missed how this channel started. Yeah, it all started with "Hey ho, let's go." All right, we'll have to go through the massive history of the how the channel started, which Van Life knows. We'll go through that next time. Again, everybody, thank you for hanging out and bringing up these good points. We'll get back to them. Susie's in the chat. I don't know if she's going live tonight, but if she is, check out her channel and say hi. And if not, I'm sure she'll be on one of these days pretty soon. And she does good work and brings up a good point that I'm glad she showed up to do. Van Life. Oh, hold on. Let me go back here and say thank you to make sure I don't forget anybody. Just deep discussions. Yeah, that's right, Van Life. That is how we started doing it and having fun too. And looking at your van too. Remember that? All right. So thank you, Susie. Thanks, Mike Jones. Thanks, Van Life. Let me go through here. We saw Cam. And we saw Bud Files, Salty, right? Indy stopped by. Um, and Steve Harloha was here, right? Hello, Steve Harloha. Hope you're getting closer to the work day being done. And also, I know Steve's going live with Ronnie tomorrow. Indy, I know she's going live uh, soon because I saw the banner. And then again, Susie and others. If Van Life puts out a video, show up there. Mike Jones, thanks for your contributions. And the Discord link for the show's in the bottom there. Van Life said, lots of fun. Yeah, we had lots of fun. And that's what the future is going to be about. So, all right, let me play this and we'll get out of here till next time. I appreciate everybody. And thanks for watching.